Hi everyone. Today is the first day for Salesforce Lightning, day 1. So what are we going to learn today? And what is our agenda on first day of Salesforce Lightning? Whoever is joined for the first time to my class, and if you have not gone through my demo classes, I would request you to go through demo classes which are there in the YouTube. So we have a YouTube channel, Swapna for Salesforce. So please go through the demo. It's a 2 hours. I know it's a 2 hours, but please spend a time to go through the demo so that you will get a clarity on the Salesforce market and roles and responsibilities and salary information. Okay, let's move on. So today's agenda is we will be seeing the previous session interview question. Whoever is joined for today first class for the lightning, I'll be taking first 10 to 15 minutes to go through the interview questions of the previous day. So please excuse on that. And then we will talk about the sandboxes, and then we will talk about what is lightning development, what is a UI development history, and then we'll have a interview questions, or is there any other questions we can discuss on that. So this is today's agenda. Coming to the previous session question, I see responses only 11. What is happening, guys?
Hi Swapna. Unfortunately, yesterday we didn't get the quiz questions link, me and my friend. So that's why we couldn't submit the answers.
Bharati, you did not get it?
Yes, Swapna. So usually daily I will get, but yesterday only I have missed.
Okay.
So I will submit maybe post this class.
Okay. And how about others? We have 31 participants in the list, but we have received only 11 responses. Okay, thank you.
We'll be submitting today for you.
Okay, fine.
Is there any possibility you won't get any 1 or 2 questions? Can we submit? This is showing that you need to answer each and every question. That's what.
Can you repeat that, Manjuna? Your voice was breaking for me.
Okay, madam. If there are like 15 questions, we need to give responses for every 15 questions also. But if we have any doubts regarding 1 or 2 questions, those we are not able to do. That means you mandatory. Those are mandatory to submit. That's why.
Okay, so let's do this way. In case if you have a still question after the session, usually our questions are, if you go through my session and if you listen the session, you will be able to understand. But still, if you have a question, what to answer, I'm not getting the question on this, just put an answer, need clarity. Can we discuss this?
Yes. Going forward, we'll do it.
Yeah, that way I can understand that how many questions you are not clear. Right now, I cannot analyze anything here. But yes, I still suggest if you listen my demo class or else you go through the recording sessions, you will be able to answer maximum of these questions. These questions are captured during my session. Okay, while I'm doing the session, we are noting down the questions. It's not the question that I have already prepared. No, these questions are not already prepared. These questions are when I'm doing the session, live session, during the live session, we are recording the questions based on conversation that is happening in the live session.
Okay. Sure, ma'am. Going forward, we'll do it like.
Okay. Fine. Usha, that is fine. Okay, Rohit submitted, Teja Kumar submitted. But I would suggest, guys, this is not for my benefit. Okay, this is for your to make you practice in the interview, right? So if you start answering these questions, understanding the each word, if you are able to understand clearly, and if you are able to answer this, at least some part of it, I'm not expecting the 100% exact answer. Definitely, I'll be giving my answers at the end of the day. Okay, we will be giving the end of the day. But if I give the question answers, it's like a class students. Like during our schools, we have a spoon feeding, right? Teachers only will give the questions and teachers only will give the answers. We used to by heart entire day and copy that, noted everything by heart. And whenever somebody asks or during the exam, if that question comes, exactly the same by hearted one, we will put it on the printout, on the paper. No, we are not going to do that. Even I'm not going to do that. I'll give answers for that, that is for sure. But I want to understand how much you are able to understand. What is your understanding? I'm not expecting the same answer to give here. Give your own answers. Maybe I can learn it from you, right? You might be having a different thought prospect or different way to explain this question. If I like it, maybe I can learn it from you. It's both the way, right? So whoever is attending entire course, admin, consulting, development, lightning, for them, these are very important. Give your understanding. Might be wrong, that's okay. Nobody is giving a punishment if you are writing a wrong here. You can make it correct after our session, or whenever I give correct answer, proper answer, you can correct it so that you will know that what was the wrong answer that you have given, what is the right answer, so that next time when you go for an interview, you can explain that answer clearly because you have a clarity. One thing you remember, if you by heart, the answer will be with you for some time. If you understand it, the answer will be with you for a lifelong. Okay, so let's move on. How instance is allocated? Yes, come on, how instance is allocated? Yes, I wanted to hear the answers.
It depends upon
based on the pin
Upon
code and
registering.
area we selected.
Upon registering, you have to choose your country. It will be allocated based on your
Depends
country.
on the region.
Yes,
Instance
based
will
on
be
the region.
allocated.
Instance is allocated in the space or curve of the space.
Yes.
Yeah, instance is nothing but it's a storage of we have a specific region like Dubai and Asia, like US.
Right. Okay. So instance is nothing but a server. Instance is nothing but a server. And whenever we create a developer edition, or whenever client requests a Salesforce to create a Salesforce org, based on the country and postcode, the org will be allocated within the instance. Instance is nothing but a server where the storage and specific storage will be allocated for each org. And within the instance, we will have a 8 to 10,000 orgs will be there. Yeah, instance is allocated in Salesforce. See, instance is allocated in Salesforce. This is not right. We are not allocating the sales instance in Salesforce. Instance resides the region. Within the region, the instances will be there. And whatever the org is created, that org will be within the inside the instance. So we'll have 8 to 10,000, 100,000 orgs will be there in each instance. We are not allocating in Salesforce. This is not the right.
Or it's allocated by a Salesforce.
Located by Salesforce, how it is? Because you are giving the country and you are mentioning the postcode. Based on that country and postcode, Salesforce has some logic where this country and combination of country and pin code, where is this org is, should go to which instance. Viewing the browser address bar. I don't know what is this mean, but this is not the right. Okay. How to check organization profile?
Excuse me, Swapna, there is a
In
question.
setup company information.
There is a query regarding this instance. There is any use regarding while we working, because this is automatically generated by the system, right, by Salesforce. They can alert our instance anywhere, like we are not going to do anything with that, right?
We are not going to use instances, but it is good to understand backend what is happening.
Yeah, that's it. Okay.
Yes, we need to know if I'm sitting at home, that doesn't give me the clarity. Where I'm sitting, whether I'm sitting in India or Dubai, where it has to, we need to know the backend, how the org is created, where this org is sits, which instance.
Yeah,
Now,
that's it.
tomorrow, if somebody asks me, like in interview, they will ask, which instance are you using it for your project? Based
Okay, I
on
got
that instance, they can understand where are the clients.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay, thank
definitely during the development, we do not use the instance, but it is good to know where actually I'm working in it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. How to check organization profile?
Go to profile, view profile, then it's showing the a name and profile, like a mail ID.
When we go to the company information in search bar from setup, when we click on setup, search bar, and then click on company information.
Yes. So as we have seen yesterday, if you wanted to see the organization information, you can go to setup. Here, type a company information. When you type a company information, you can see all the organization details. Which instance, what is your organization ID? Everything you can see here. What is your instance? Okay, everybody has created the org. NA224.
Swapna, that is like a profile, na? Maybe
Yes,
profile, maybe
organization profile. So basically, when you go to here, you will see settings. Okay, you can search here profiles. Okay.
Yeah, I understand. This is company information. Maybe can you go to that logo once that setup above, not that here gear above, like a one pop-up, like emoji is there, no?
Which one you are talking about?
Scroll right. Scroll right. Yeah, view profile. That is maybe. Yeah, DEC badge. No.
Okay.
No.
So profile, let's hold on, guys, because there are a few members who doesn't know the profile also. So for now, let's skip this question. Okay, whatever the profile it is talking, there are few members who does not know the profile also. Okay. And where, what is your org ID? Everybody has given the org ID. Where can we see the org ID?
Company information we can actually.
Yeah.
In that last 4 digits, it's ID creation.
Sorry, you are talking about the organization ID?
Yeah, company information in the last URL, we have to find it. That
Yeah. Okay, interesting question here. What is your organization edition?
It's a developer edition.
developer edition.
Developer.
Somebody has given the Salesforce organization. This is not the right. See, the question is just straightforward. What is your organization edition? Where can we see that organization edition? If you go to the company information, you can see organization edition, developer edition. Developer edition is our org, not the Salesforce organization.
Yeah, hi Swapna.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't able to see the total company information in my org.
Sorry, Ramya, can you repeat that?
I can't able to see my company information in my org, whichever org which I had created in.
Have you created the new org, the link which I have
Yes,
given
yes,
to you?
exactly. I had created the new org only,
Mm-hmm.
but it's showing like blank. No information is there.
Interesting. Maybe after this session, I'll see.
Yeah, sure. I will present my screen and show you.
Okay, how much data space is allocated for your developer edition?
5 MB.
5 MB.
5 MB.
Okay, just to give a clarity on data space that is allocated here. Okay. So whenever we create a organization, the developer org, developer edition, whenever we create it, where we can see that data storage allocated for the org. I'm talking about the developer edition. We are not talking about the unlimited or any other thing. We are talking about the developer edition that we have created yesterday. The data storage is allocated is 5 MB. By default, Salesforce is giving the space 5 MB. And where can we see that information? We can see that information if you go to the company information. Here we have it, data space. So in data space, limit is 5 MB, and Salesforce, whenever we create it, Salesforce is also putting the some data. So they are already used the 298 KB. So by default, if somebody asks me in the developer edition, the data storage is 5 MB. There are different additions. Based on the addition, the storage allocation also will, space allocation also will change. And data storage is a space allocated by Salesforce, right? Whenever we create a org, Salesforce is going to allocate the space. They are going to see which addition I am creating it. Based on that, they will allocate a space for our org. For what this space is to store the data. Data is nothing but customer information, right? Customer information is stored in account and opportunity and cases. And data is compressed by the Salesforce. Okay, when we compress it, we can store many records. Records is nothing but whoever is new for the complete Salesforce, record is nothing but a row. Okay, in Excel sheet, you have a rows, right? So one row is nothing but a record. I have already explained in my demo. Please watch that demo. And once we create this developer addition, and as soon as the Salesforce is allocated the 5 MB space, we cannot extend. It's not possible to extend the space in developer addition. So what is the solution for it in case if you do not extend it? We have to create a new developer addition. We have to create a new developer addition. Is everybody clear about the data storage?
Ma'am, this is only for practice edition, it will be 5 MB.
Right.
In full licensed version, it will be different, right?
Yes, for licensed, unlimited edition, enterprise edition, there are different editions we have. For that, it is a different. We are talking about the developer edition. Here, the question is developer edition.
Okay.
Okay, so this is not the right. 298 KB is not right. Salesforce is giving the 5 MB space. Okay, how much file space is allocated for your developer edition?
20 MB.
20 MB.
20 MB.
20 MB.
Okay. So still I see some answers are incorrect here. So just to give you clarity on this, file storage is allocated by Salesforce. By default, they are giving the 20 MB, right? File storage is, what are the files we are going to store? When we say file storage is nothing but all the attachments, files, and in Charter, we have a charter in Salesforce. We will load some files. So photos, images, documents, everything we will load it into the Salesforce. So all those attachments, everything, article, everything can be stored in 20 MB. And developer edition, as soon as it is created, they are allocating the 20 MB space. And we cannot extend the space. It is not possible to extend the space for developer edition. And keep on saying developer edition, okay? If you go for a different edition, that is a different. Right now, developer edition, once it is created with the 20 MB space, it cannot be extended. In case if you want a space extension, then the another option is, the solution is you have to create a new developer edition. And where can we see that? You can see in company information, and here you have a file space. File space, if you click on that file space and go down here. Okay, file space is 20 MB and used is 13 KB. So by default, Salesforce has put some data here. That's the reason 13 KB. Okay, somebody has posted some question here in the chat. I have a system administrator in my account. How can I change it? Can you explain more clarity on that, Deliver? Okay, maybe we can take at the end of the session. So here by default, file space is 20 MB and already used is 13 KB. So let's move on to the next one. Is everybody clear on file space allocated for a developer edition?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Now, differences between the org and sandbox. This is the question which we are keep on asking from last 2 days. I think right now you all will be having a clarity. Right? What is the difference between the org and sandbox?
Org is created by Salesforce. And the
Sandbox is created by means developers
Sandbox is
or
a copy.
It is a copy of an
Org contains live data and Salesforce doesn't contain live data. The org have active users and Salesforce have admin, developer, business analyst, and etc. Solution architect, team leads.
Right.
There will be some limits in for org and for sandbox, like limits are based. Sandbox.
Perfect. Okay. So the differences are as we discussed yesterday. Org is created by Salesforce and org contains the real data, the live data, and will have a real users information will be available. Whereas Sandbox is created by Salesforce team. Salesforce team, when I say Salesforce team, developer, admin, solution architect, technical lead, anybody who is working on the Salesforce on that project. Created by Salesforce, internal Salesforce team, and it does not have a live data. And we cannot see real users in Sandbox. We cannot see the real users information. And here limits are in the org is provided by Salesforce based on the addition. Based on the addition, if it is a developer addition, we'll have a less limits. If it is an unlimited addition, we'll have a more flexibility.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
I'm muting it. Okay, so limits in the sandboxes are based on the which sandbox you are creating it. Whether are you creating the developer sandbox or developer pro sandbox or partial sandbox or full copy sandbox. Based on that, it will be decided. How many sandboxes available in your project?
3.
3.
Production.
It's a develop pro sandbox and partial sandbox, fully copy sandbox.
Okay.
And production we don't need to mention.
Yeah, let me pause it. Recording.
Or each admin will have separate sandboxes.
Sorry?
Each developer or each admin will have their own separate sandbox.
Yes, developer should have a separate sandbox.
Each developer or entire development team?
Each develop. See the scenario here, if you are working in agile methodology, then you should have each developer should have their own sandbox. We call it as a scratch org. Okay, if you go in the real time, if you have a big project, whether it is 1 year project or if you have big project, what happens is ideally everybody has their own dedicated development org. What is the reason for their own dedicated development org is, for example, I am working on the same component. You are also working on the same component, right? So I should not be overwriting the component, the changes which you have implemented, right? So for that, right now what we are doing is, for every developer will have their own sandbox. So when you go for a real-time project, you will see everybody has their own. There are some projects all the developers will have only one developer sandbox. So I cannot say every company follows the same. Few companies follows that all the developers will have only one developer sandbox. Few companies follows that every developer should have their own Scratch org.
Swapna, it's a developer, it's a separate, like a sandbox was created, and developer pro sandbox, what is the use? Maybe it's a like a
capacity in data. For example, developer, whenever they are implementing the application, so what happens is sometimes you need some data from the production in order to test yourself. So in that case, what we will do is, instead of creating the developer sandbox, we take a developer pro, so that some data, it will be automatically copied from the production org.
Okay. Question, like it's one application, it's there in real time, like 5 members at a time, it's working like a same application, like a bitwise. We have to merge it, that entire application, we have to use that developer pro sandbox maybe.
It's not necessary you have to use developer sandbox or developer pro sandbox. Only it is necessary if you have to test your changes with the real data, or you want some data. During that time, you have to decide if you want to test it with the real data, then you take a developer pro. Otherwise, developer sandbox should be fine. So assume that I have a 5 developers here. Okay, we have 5 developers. Let me copy this. So today is the last, and I will not be repeating this again. So please concentrate on this.
Yes, sure.
So these are the 5 users. When I say users, developers. Okay, I have it. Developer 1, developer 2, developer 3, developer 4, and developer 5. We have 5 developers. Okay, I am implementing an application for hospital, as we are discussing. Hospital patient registration. Patient registration. Okay, everybody is involved in order to implement this life cycle. We are implementing the patient registration life cycle. All the 5 developers are involved. Everybody is doing some part of a development in order to build this life cycle. Okay, so what happens is, when everybody is using the same developer sandbox, okay, assume that everybody is using same developer sandbox. Few company follows this, okay? Few company follows that all the developers should use the same developer sandbox. But there are few companies which they say that we do not want every developer to use the same sandbox. Because if somebody is doing, this person is doing some logic in the class, okay, Apex class, I have a Apex class, doing some changes, class name is demo, is the class name, okay. This person is doing some changes into the Apex class. And also the developer one also doing some changes into the Apex class. Now what happens finally, whoever is the latest, they saved it, right? They can see their changes. the older changes will go away. That means assume that dev 5 is saved 2 minutes back and developer 1 is saved right now. So whatever he saved, we lost his changes. His changes are gone. Because when this person was doing the modification into this class, that time both are doing at the same time. So he cannot see his changes. So what happens? One of the changes will go away. So that's the reason what they will do is in some of the companies, rather than everybody touching the developer sandbox, what they will do is don't touch it anything here. I will give you something called scratch.org, which is copy of developer sandbox. Okay, it can be developer sandbox or production sandbox. Okay, so this is the scratch.org. Now, developer 5, whoever is the developer 5, he will use only this scratch.org, and developer 4 will be using only this scratch.org, or developer 3 will be using only this, developer 2 will be using only this, and developer 1 is using only this. Now, finally, what happens? You might have heard something called a Git. Okay, whoever is not heard, don't worry about it. Something called, there is a CI/CD process. Okay, let's say this CI/CD process. There is a CI/CD. So this developer, whatever he has implemented the changes, the person has to push the changes to this CI/CD. And this person has to push the changes to the CI/CD. This person has to push the changes to the CI/CD. And this person has to push to CI/CD. Everybody has to push to the CI/CD. And then there is a one person here who will be watching what are the changes are coming to the CI/CD. There will be one person who is always monitoring it. What are the changes that are coming in? If this person observe that there is an overlap between the D5 and D1, if there is any overlap, then immediately this person will tell D5 and D1, your changes are overlapping. Better you both work together and finally push correct information. So what they will do? These two members, D5 and D1, developer 1, developer 5, will work together and finally they push the changes to the CI/CD, which is a clean. Then from here, we can push the changes to the another sandbox, wherever we go. Okay, so this is the few companies which follow, and few companies, because it is a small project or minor project, everybody will be using the developer sandbox. There is no separate sandbox for each developer. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
There is a branching strategy.
Yes, branching strategy, that's right. So scratch.org will be created, it says branching. Because I have mentioned here, because there are few members who does not understand the branch, master, those all things they do not understand. So whoever is new, forget about branch and master. This is the how it will be there. Whoever knows the branch, master, they think that as a branch, we are going to create a separate branch for each developer.
Sapna, I have one question.
Yes.
So this conflicting situation will only arise when we do programming, Apex programming or some other program. But in the case of declarative development, where on developer do click or some customization in the application, in such scenario, I think this conflicting situation will not arise, right? This is what my understanding is. Is it correct?
It might not be the programming, it could be the configuration also. When I say configuration, lightning flows,
Mhm.
workflows, approval process.
Okay.
Might be
So
possible.
different developer can develop different scenario or customize differently. So that can be also matter of conflict.
Yeah, if you ask me directly which process is better, I would
Mhm.
suggest this process is better.
Okay.
Everybody having the separate org.
Okay. So this developer sandbox also like it's cost involved in that?
No,
Company needs
whenever we
needs to
create a developer sandbox, if that's what I'm saying. So when the Salesforce is created a org for the client, that time they will talk to the client and they will say how many licenses you want. That means the deal is already happened. Now,
Okay.
if I'm creating the developer sandbox, there is nothing cost because it is clearly giving that how many developer sandboxes can I create it. That means how many licenses are available for developer sandbox, developer pro sandbox, partial copy and full copy, how many I can create it. It's giving the clarity there.
Okay. Every tester should also have separate sandbox for testing purpose.
Yes, testing should be different sandbox.
Okay.
Ma'am, do we have any count for each sandbox? How many scratch orgs that we can create?
It's depending on how many developers are there.
Okay.
Okay, your project manager will be deciding or your company will be deciding how many scratch orgs is needed.
That means you already showed now that there are around 40 pending that in the 100. That means there are 57 developers.
That is decided by the company. I cannot say fix.
Okay, okay. That means the Salesforce will give only 100, but depending on your company, you can
Yes.
use within the 100 one. Within the limit, you can use that signal.
Yes. Okay. What are the different sandboxes in your project? So this is the interview question. What are the different sandboxes in your project?
Developer, developer to partial copy. We have full copy, but we won't use it.
Right? Perfect. So everybody gave the answer. Which sandboxes you use for coding?
Developer
sandbox.
Right?
Pro sandbox.
Developer Pro also we can, Swapna.
Yeah, Developer Pro also you can use. Sandboxes are not using. This answer is, it is similar like if somebody asks, where are you working? Okay, if somebody asks, where are you working? Then I'll say answer, I'm going to the supermarket. There is no related. What is this answer? It doesn't give me the answer this. So that means you are not concentrating, right? 3 times we have discussed the sandboxes. Still you are saying that sandboxes are not using. This is not right.
When you are attending these sessions, you feel that you are working in Salesforce. Don't assume you are in the training.
I'll just give you one scenario. If somebody asks you, for example, you go, sorry, somebody has a question. Rajkumar, do you have any question?
No.
Okay, can you mute yourself? Okay, thank you. For example, bank, Okay, bank person came to home and he is taking all the information to open the account. There is one option called profession. When that option came profession, he asked what profession you are. Okay. If I say I am a housewife, then the person he doesn't understand housewife. Because in the bank, whenever the profession is there, there is a drop-down box will be there. Profession is IT, electric, or what are the professions we have, lawyer, all these professions will be there, will be a drop-down. Housewife, there is no drop-down. So he does not understand housewife. Then again he asks, what is your profession? I'll keep on saying I'm housewife. But housewife is not giving the answer to him. This is exactly happens in your interview also. When the other person is asking a question during the interview, if somebody asks you, we have to give a clear-cut answer to the person who can understand. Right? So here the bank person does not understand the housewife. If I say that, instead of saying a simple word called housewife, instead of saying housewife, I'll say that I'm producing kids and I'm arranging multiple things and I'm managing entire my organization where I have 4 members. If I give this long description to that person, he will be shocked. Right? Maybe she is in a good position or something. The answers, whatever the answers we are giving it, whether that should make other person to attract. When I say attract, if the person is, he asked the question during the interview, okay, interview asked, what is the instance? Then he start doing his work. He doesn't concentrate what you are saying it. But we have to give an answer where the person has to stop his work and he has to concentrate, because there is a something answer which I got it, instead of saying it small, which he gave in a very clarity. That means this person has a clarity in his work. So clarity is very important. Whatever, if you have a clarity, you will be able to answer clear cut. With these questions, I'm not giving it for fun. So please focus on it. This is your career. Okay. Do you code in production org?
No.
Okay. Which Salesforce addition is used in your project? So in our project, we use
developer edition, maybe.
Okay. If you say if this question is asked in the interview, which Salesforce addition is used in your project, don't say developer addition. Developer addition is for practicing it. When you say developer addition, that means you do not have a experience. If during the interview, if they ask which Salesforce addition used in your project, say that unlimited addition. Unlimited addition. That is the real projects will be. Perfect. What is the tag? Whoever is attended yesterday's session, what is the tag?
It's a kind of keyboard to display the types of formats, right?
Right.
Web browser will format and display the content. We use tags.
How text should be displayed in the web browser? Exactly.
The elements present in the tags helps in building up of an user interface.
Right? Perfect. A tag is a keyword which defines how to display the text on the browser. Okay. What are the different programming tags used in Salesforce?
HTML tag,
Salesforce tag, Lightroom,
HTML,
LWS tag.
lightning on.
Yeah. HTML tag, Visual Force tag, Lightning Aura tag, Lightning Web
Lightning Web
Component tag.
Components tag.
Right. What are the different HTML tags that we have discussed yesterday?
Paragraph, break,
Bold,
bold, iframe, table,
iframe
division.
table,
iframe,
comment.
iframe, comment tag,
comments.
division tag.
Right. So we have discussed paragraph, bold, break, header, comments, iframe, table, division tag. Tag contains
Both open and close.
Both open and close.
open and
perfect. Okay, write down syntax for bold tag. What is the purpose of bold tag?
To
It
display
define
text
the
in bold.
elements in bold letters.
Right, to display the text
Text
To
in
in
display the
bold.
text in bold characters, or it will highlight the text.
perfect. Write down the syntax for paragraph. What is the purpose of it?
To define a paragraph.
To define the elements in paragraph format.
Yeah, HTML element represents the paragraph. Syntax for break. And what is the purpose of break tag?
To break the line and it's the
It's a
line.
new line. Get new.
Insert a single break line, single line break.
To insert single line break.
So syntax is, these are not the syntaxes. Somebody has written this is wrong. Okay, we will not write anything within the break. It's a single line break. We don't write any text between the break. Break is the self-closed. Break is self-closed. That is the syntax for break tag. Syntax for header text.
H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6.
Till H6.
Right, perfect. And what is the purpose of header text?
No.
To define heading.
Define headings.
To make a text
The font size.
Font size.
Font size decreases from H1 to H6.
Right. Font size decreases. Highest one is header 1, and then it slowly decreases the font size till header 6. Write down the syntax for iframe. What is the purpose of iframe tag?
Length.
To show the entire element in a single frame, inline frame.
Right. So syntax is nothing but if you are writing a iframe, this is not the syntax. Every tag should be ending with the close. Whenever we say syntax for anything, any tag, please make sure if you are opening the syntax, we have to close the syntax also. So similar like opening this and closing this. So seems like we have not discussed this SRC title. Okay, it is similar like this one, opening the iframe and closing the iframe. So this is the syntax. So this is basically inline frame. If we wanted to place the website or image within the iframe, we can place it. Write down the syntax for comment tag. What is the purpose of comment tag?
It is helpful to other person to understand that what code is doing.
To understand the logic, before we have to mention like comments, because right now we have like a banking details like a credit, and then after we have a logic implementation, we have to implement above like credit what the like we have to mention. It's easy for a long time process because we have a heavy code of the project.
Perfect. Yes, comment is very important for the developers. Whatever the logic you are implementing, please make sure mention the description. What is the input? Is it expecting? What is the output that is giving out of this logic? And this is going to be helpful for the new members who is joining the company. They can easily identify what is that logic is doing it. Write down the syntax for div tag. What is the purpose of div tag?
It's to provide one area around the text.
It's a completely division. Lines are one division.
Used to divide heading and paragraph.
It is one complete division in order to show our like our design for one particular design, one division like that. It divides the page.
Perfect. Yes.
Division of elements.
Use it to display the set of information in a separate section.
Yep. That's right. Div is a division or a section if you want to display the information in a separate section. And the syntax is open div and close div. What are the different type of tags?
Self-closure tag and open and closure tags.
Open and close and self-close.
Both of them, self-close tag and open and close tag. When to use the open and close tag?
Like body.
When there is a one open, then close tag needs to be there.
Like
when we want to display any information, then we will be using open and close.
We start with like a HTML, like example, like we have a body of the description. We have to display that web browser. We have to open and close it.
Right, perfect. So when you have a information that needs to be printed, or whenever you wanted to write something between the open and close tag, then we have to use, if there is any text that needs to be displayed between the paragraph or bold, then we have to use the open and close. But if there is nothing, then we are need not to use the open and close. We can just use the self-closed tag. Okay, that is self-closed tag. If there is no content between the open and closing tag, then we have to use a self-content. What is the syntax for the self-closed? Where is the slash will be coming? Is it after or before?
After.
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 So this is incorrect. This is not the right. This is when you have a open and close, this syntax is close, syntax is right. But when you have a self-closed, the slash will be always your text. This, what are the BR slash, P slash. Okay, what is the important to use the comment tag? This is already we covered. Okay, what is good practice and good coding standards while writing the program?
In Salesforce or maybe
In
like
Salesforce?
we have like and code. By using class name, we have to write the triggers directly.
Always
Or
using the
always
comments
use
while
comments.
implementing the logic. Always writing the input of the logic, output of the logic, and overall description of the logic.
Perfect, yes.
And we do not write the SQL query.
You are much ahead. We did not discuss the soccer.
Avoid hard coding.
Okay.
Naming conventions. We should
For
follow.
now, comments are important.
Yeah. As per the yesterday class, the good practice is for the developer to write a comments before the logic. What is the description, input, output, and maintain the structure. Maintain the structure means we will come to know that. So we have to maintain the class structure. Somebody has written here w3schools.com. I don't know why it is.
Hi, so this is also best practice only, no? Like Apex, we have to write the code, and logics. Whenever we have a logics, we have to implement comments. That is also
Yes,
maybe.
yes.
Or directly we have to return triggers. It's better to Apex. Then after that class name, we have to collect it, and triggers we have to.
Can you repeat that again?
Going to in that scenarios like triggers, we have like return Apex separately, like code, whatever the logic, and then we have call it as class name to triggers directly.
Okay, yes. The logic has to be implemented in Apex
Yeah.
class. So logic
Yeah.
should not be implemented in trigger. We should not do that.
Yes.
Okay, that's
That is
much
also
further course. Okay, yeah, that is right.
Yeah.
Somebody has written here w3schools.com. I don't know what is the purpose. And whoever is written dash, are you clear on this? Okay, if you are clear, fine. If you are not clear, maybe we can discuss. What is the attribute in tag?
It just gives additional information about a particular element.
Right. Others?
It's like
attribute is nothing but like whatever we have to contain like inside the tags we have to retain.
Like we give additional characteristics and properties of to the height, font, name, color, etc.
Right. Who is Dell? Your name, please. Dell. Gone. Okay. I'm removing it. So sorry.
Hello.
Yep.
Hi, I'm Swapna, ma'am.
Oh, Swapna, please change your name.
Okay.
Fine. Attribute is So attributes are provide more information to beautify the tag. So tag is nothing but very high level if you wanted to bold. But for after bolding it, if you want to have a hyperlink or you wanted to change the font, so we cannot change. So by using the attributes, we can change the font to the italic or underline, hyperlink. So to beautify the text, we are going to use the attributes in tag. Interesting. Here it is. So what is the attribute in tag? What is the purpose of attribute? So how can you differentiate this answer? What is the attribute in tag? What is the purpose of attribute?
Purpose of attribute is provide a style to a text.
Like the particular
Others?
Beauty tag.
Okay. Anybody else? What is the purpose? What is the purpose of attribute?
Getting more information about the tag.
Okay.
Particular meaning. That means input secret is an attribute. That means that will be used in password.
Okay. So
Or
basically,
providing more consideration.
So basically the major difference is when we say what is attribute in tag, this is a definition. We have to give a definition. And then what is the purpose of attribute is nothing but what it does. It does a styling, it does changing the behavior, appearance of the text. So purpose is nothing but what it does. Okay. What are the different attributes you know?
Font increase, on click, on font.
On click.
Color.
Color and hyperlink one.
On our.
Yes, perfect. So every tag must contain attribute.
All
Also.
may or may not be.
It depends.
No.
So whoever is said true, are they clear? Every tag must contain an attribute. It may not be having the attribute. There are few tags which does not have a mandatory attributes. Required attributes are not there. What is a name tag?
Human element.
It's a name of the tag, whatever the name we are giving, that specify the name for HTML element. So that is one of the So leave this question. What is the name tag? Leave this.
To define like suppose if it is the login place, we will writing some kind of thing, right?
So we are going to define the what is like the what around it. Right?
In attributes, we have implement the name.
It's an attribute called name. Yeah, that's the reason I said leave that question 34th.
Yeah.
So with some text, practice following in W3. Okay, whatever yesterday I have given the header, bold, paragraph, comments, break, did you guys practice it? I don't know what is this answer. We said I have at the end of the class, I have mentioned to practice the some tags, header, paragraph, bold, break, comment, div, table, right? So that is the question to practice it. Whatever you have practiced it, just write down here. That's what it said. Whoever is mentioned, I don't know all of them. I don't know all of them. Dashes, are you clear? If you are not, please let me know. We can discuss on that. This is the text outside the development. This is the paragraph text. Is interview questions are too much confusing for you guys? Because it is clearly mentioned that with some text, practice following in W3 schools. Header, bold, paragraph, comment, break, sixth one, div. Write down your observation. Okay. Do some work with a table tag in W3 schools. Explain different tags available in table. Okay, what are the tags available in the table?
TR,
Table row, table
table
header,
cells.
Table header,
Table header,
table data,
table cell.
table cells.
Table row, table TD.
Okay. Yes, so here is exact answer. Somebody has written this is the right answer. Table tag is used to create the table. Then TD is for the cells. Then we have a header TH and rows is TR. Style font, it doesn't give clarity here. This is not the right. Okay, this is your user ID in the developer edition. Okay. Perfect. This is the last question. What difficulties you are facing while learning the Salesforce? Okay. Need exact answers for everyday interview questions. See, I will give you the exact answers. That's not an issue. But how much you are able to understand, give your answers. Give your understanding answers. We are spending, okay, here it is. 2 days we are spending on this. Okay, one day I'm clearly explaining about the session. Next day also I'm taking half an hour or 45 minutes to explain this session. I'm repeating this session twice. Before giving the questions, after giving the questions. If you are still not getting it, I would suggest go through my demo. Whatever your understanding is there, I want your understanding. So put your understanding If I give a answer also, what you will do, you will go and by heart that answer and you will keep it in my mind. And while giving the interview, because of tension, when you are in interview panel, definitely you have a tension, right? And during that time, you might forget half of the by-hearted one. So that does not help you. So we will give you anyway, but please give your answers also, how much you are understanding it. And daily practice, yes, there are too many difficulties will be there. Definitely, if you are stepping in, there will be a difficulty. But once you go on, we will be using these all things into our sessions. So that time you will be by practicing makes person perfect. So only practice. Other than that, we cannot say anything. Terminology of Salesforce. Okay, right now we have not yet started the real terminology of Salesforce. Okay, I'm just giving the theory part. This is the first time if you are attending the Salesforce. Okay, don't worry about it. Whatever the words, if you do not understand, please let me know. We can have a detailed information discussion about that particular terminology. You note down somewhere during the session, put a notepad and note down the terminology which you do not understand. Okay, and during the weekend or whenever we have a time, we can connect and I can give you the clear information about the terminology. Approval process flows, yes, we will be doing that, so do not worry about that. Explaining about my project is the biggest difficulty that I am facing. Okay. Guys, here I asked the question, what difficulties you are facing while learning the Salesforce? Because it's been 1 week and I wanted to understand, whoever is attending my class for last 1 week, I just want to understand whether you are able to understand my classes or not. Okay, that is my expectation on this question. Whatever we have discussed so far, do you have a clarity on everything? So that's the main purpose that I have given the question, what difficulties you are facing while learning the Salesforce. Read the question 4 or 5 times, okay? Then you will understand. Perfect. So let's move on. We have discussed about the data storage. And coming to real time, when it is a real time, the real time data, 99% of companies uses the unlimited edition. So during the interview, if somebody asks what is the addition you are using in the project, say that unlimited addition, because everybody will have an unlimited addition. And for the unlimited addition, memory can be extended by paying some amount. Client will be paying as per the requirement. So if you have a requirement that needs to be extended the license or some license or any other memory space or anything, that can be extendable for the unlimited addition. But client has to pay some amount on that. Now, org versus sandbox, as we discussed, when there is a org, what is the necessary to create a sandbox? Okay, this is the question to you guys. When we have a org, what is the necessity to create a sandbox?
To reduce the risk of the live data.
Right?
Can't develop on the live data. So we'll have a copy of it.
Perfect. Others?
Will impact our product.
We have to can't do the live data, we have to develop the code first initially. Then it's working or not, like a unit testing. After we have to test it, it's working fine. We have to continue. Otherwise, any issues comes, we have to go to again our developer to reach. Then we have to what the issue comes. Then again we have to check it. Then after testing, and then after we have to fully copy Sandbox, like it's a client. It's any testing is required. Testing is doing, then anything development is required. Then after we have to go to developer Sandbox. Then after we have to check same repeat the process. Then after it's go to production data.
Perfect. Others? Usha?
To follow SDLC.
Yes, Bharati.
Yeah, so we have to follow SDLC, right? As a developer, so in order to follow SDLC, we have to use org and sandboxes.
Perfect. Yes. Others? Okay. Salesforce is providing the org. And what the org contains the Salesforce CRM, force.com, storage space, and the live data. So when we have the live data and there is some information which is provided by Salesforce, the production org, can we implement our logic directly into the production org? Can we do that?
No.
No.
We cannot implement it. So as per the client requirement, the Salesforce CRM need to be customized or new application need to be created. So new application is nothing but new Sandbox. And who will be creating that? Salesforce team, internal Salesforce team. When I say internal Salesforce team, admin, dev, solution architect, team lead, technical architect, creating the Sandbox copy of the production org. Then we can implement the client requirement. Perfect. And this is the Sandbox, which we have seen, Sandbox and licenses. And sandboxes. Okay. There are different type of sandboxes. Developer sandbox 200 MB, file storage 200 MB. What it copies only metadata, no actual data. When I say metadata, is nothing but classes, Lightning Aura component, Lightning Web component. That is going to copy whenever we create a developer sandbox. Developer Pro Sandbox, whenever we create a Developer Pro Sandbox, data storage limit is 1 GB, file storage limit is 1 GB, and what the information it is going to copy? Only the metadata, no actual data. And coming to partial copy sandbox, data storage is 5 MB, file storage is 5 MB, and what it is going to copy from the production? The sample data it is going to copy. And finally, we have a full copy. Full copy, whenever we create a sandbox full copy, data storage limit is similar to the production. And file storage is also similar to the production. It copies everything, metadata and entire all the data about the customers and opportunity, cases, issues, everything will be copied. So that's the sandbox. Now let's move on to the Lightning. Let me open my notepad. Salesforce Lightning. So let's understand what is Lightning. What is a lightning development? What is a lightning development? Now, before understanding the Salesforce lightning development, let's understand the structure first. So Salesforce development is classified into two categories. Your complete Salesforce development has been identified into two categories. The first one is called user interface development. So user interface development is nothing but whenever you log into Salesforce, right? So whenever I log into the Salesforce, so whatever the UI I'm seeing here, everything is a user interface. Whatever the screens that I'm seeing here, everything is a user interface. Those screens are user interface. Through the user interface, we are interacting with Salesforce. Right? Through the interface, we are interacting with Salesforce. And through the interface only, we are accessing the customer data. Like we are registering some customer information, capturing customer information, storing the customer information. All this, whatever I'm doing at the front end. Front end is nothing but on the Salesforce, whenever I open something here, right? When I click on the object manager, there is something is opens up here, right? Everything, whatever I am doing in the front end, whatever is visible at the front end, whatever the content is visible in the front end are called user interface. And this user interface has been further divided into the three types. User interface has been divided into three types of development called Salesforce, Salesforce Classic, and Salesforce Lightning, and Salesforce LWC, Lightning Web Component. User interface is divided into three categories, three types of development. First one is Salesforce Classic, Salesforce Lightning, and Salesforce LWC, Lightning Web Component. These are three user interface design technologies from Salesforce. These are three design. These are user interfaces where we design it, where we build the front end. The first one is called Salesforce Classic, which is nothing but a Visual Force framework, which is nothing but a Visual Force framework. So all this, whenever you see in Salesforce Classic, so let me go to the org. Okay. So whenever you log into the Salesforce, everybody see this page, right? You see this page. So by default, it will land as soon as you log into the Salesforce, you'll land here, right? And you see here, this is a view profile. The last one, view profile. Okay. This is a view profile. If you hover on your avatar, we call it as a avatar. This icon, whatever his icon is there here, we call it as a avatar icon. Okay, this avatar icon, if you hover it, it will show view profile. Okay, click on this. Okay, as soon as you click on this, on bottom, you will see switch to Salesforce Classic. On bottom, you see switch to Salesforce Classic. Here it is, last but one. So what happens here is when you click on this, it will convert, it will change, it will switch. Are you guys able to hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
None.
Okay. So if you click on that, switch to Salesforce Classic, what will happen? It will switch from Lightning to Classic. Lightning to Classic. This screen is whatever you see this screen. Okay. This screen is called Classic. This is the example for Classic. We are in Classic right now. I am in Classic right now. The whole Classic, whatever you see here, the whole Classic is developed using the Visualforce framework. The Classic is developed using the Visualforce framework only. We use only Visualforce framework technology to implement user interface. Okay, whatever the user interface, if you want to implement here, the technology we are going to use it is Visualforce. And if I click on, again, if I wanted to switch back to the Lightning, then here one option you will see, switch to Lightning experience. There is one option here, switch to Lightning experience. So click on this. As soon as you click on this, it will switch your Salesforce from Classic to Lightning. Your data remains same. Data is not going to change anything. Your data is same. Your data is same. Everything is same. Right here we are in Sales Cloud. Right? If I switch here, if I switch to the Classic, what will happen if I want, this is the sales, okay? I'm into the sales. Everything is same. Home tab, charter, campaign, leads, whatever you are able to see. If I switch to the Lightning, everything will be same. But did you observe this? When I switch to the Lightning, the appearance of the application is changed. The appearance is changed. The entire screen, the whole screen appearance is changed. This is called Lightning experience. This is called Lightning experience. This entire thing, whatever you are seeing here, this is called Lightning experience. This whole visibility that you are able to see called Lightning experience. So I'm keep on saying that because you need to understand the terminology in Salesforce. So this is Lightning experience. Again, if I wanted to switch back to the Classic, click on this avatar and then click on this switch to Salesforce Classic. Right? I switch to the Salesforce Classic. And if I wanted to switch back, again, I can switch back here. So Classic, the UI is a different. See here, everything is a normal. When I say normal, there is a lot of difference you can observe it here between the Classic and Lightning. And one more you can see here, there is a 6 dots we have here, right? This 6 dots we call App Manager. This is App Manager. If somebody asks you to click on an App Manager, click on these 6 dots. If I click on this App Manager, what will happen? It will show you drop down and then you click on here, View All. Okay. When I click on a View All, see here, this is the App Launcher. App Launcher, and I can see all the application, all my applications and all my items. App Launcher shows all apps and all items. Right? Where I'm doing in the Lightning experience. I'm in Lightning experience. I clicked on an App Manager, which opened the rectangular box. This box is opened. Within that, we have a two different sections. One is all apps and all items. All apps is nothing but where you can see all the applications. These again small boxes you have, right? These are the applications. Marketing cloud application, sales console application, content application, sales application. These all are applications. And if I click on it, sales, then I'll go to the sales application. Right? So same thing, if I do, how can I do it in the classic? If I switch to the classic, so where are the applications will be here? I cannot see here 6 dots. Classic does not have a app manager. Okay, here we do not see any 6 dots. All the applications will be here. If you click on this arrow, you will see all your applications and all tabs. And this has App Exchange, Developer Community, Trailblazer Community. But if you see in the Lightning, it gives the clear information that has a more information, right? It gives you all the information and which clarity, and you see the appearance, which is very good. So these all like implementing a cards, right? These, when I say card, this box is there, right? This box, you will be implementing these boxes, everything you will be learning with me. How to implement each one of the box, how to combine all different boxes. When I say box here in Salesforce, we call card. This is one card. This is another card. This is another card. Box is nothing but another card. In another term, okay, for example, here, if you see on the Sales Cloud, this is one box, right? It clearly says that this is one box. And this is one box. That means this is one card and this is another card. Card. It's a C-A-R-D, card. It's a card. Okay, so in Salesforce, we say card, or I can say that box. Let's take it as a box right now. Okay, so this is the multiple boxes we have. Okay, this is on the home page. Okay, you see here different tabs are there. Okay, different tabs. If I go to this, what happened here? If I open any record, okay, if I open any record, here you see different cards are there. Let me open the account. Account is nothing but customer information, where we store the customer information in the account. Okay, if I open the account, so this is one box. Do you see here? This is one box completely. You can observe it. There is a background. This is the background. The one which is shows as a blue color, that is a background. And on top of it, you have this is one box, this is another box, this is another box. And if you observe, there are small icons you can see. If you go to the details page, you can see small icons. Right here, small icons. This is one icon, this is one avatar, and this is icon. Everywhere, whatever you are seeing, it's settings, add, whatever you are seeing in the Lightning experience, you will be doing everything with me. We will be implementing exactly same. Okay, starting with single small elements. Even buttons also we will be doing it. Okay, design cards. We say that design cards. These all are design cards. Okay, so let's take one example. For example, if you have applied for a passport, or if you have applied for Aadhaar card, after applying it, what will happen? there are a different stages, right? When I say different stages is nothing but as soon as you apply, will you be relaxed? Okay, I have applied my passport. Okay, I'm relaxed. Will you do that? You don't do that, right? You will be waiting when the Aadhaar card or when the passport will be reaching to home. When the post office, when I have to go to post office, everything you wanted to know, right? So first you will apply. So apply in a sense that is a new. You are new and you are applying it. Then another status will be in progress. That means government is working on it. Government is working on it. And then they will say that I'll take card is printed. Right? Card is printed and they will, next status will be delivered. And the last one will be reached. Right? So this is your flow. You will apply and then government will work on it. And then the card will be printed and they will deliver it and it will be reached. And there will be another option which is called as cancelled. In case if there is any issue during the deliver or during checking anything, there will be a cancel. So this is your flow, right? This is your flow. This is actually flow of the passport or Aadhaar card, Emirates ID, whatever you have it. Okay, so this is the flow. Like this, in Salesforce also we can implement this flow. We can implement this flow. But will you able to implement this flow using, say, Classic? Using Classic, will you able to implement this flow? And finally, we'll have it done. Done means all perfectly went fine.
Using Visualforce, can we create in Classic this flow? Or is not possible?
May not be possible. You cannot implement exactly same.
Okay.
But using the Lightning, you can do that. Using the Lightning, you can do. I can show you one example. Without a coding, you can implement that flow. Without a coding, you can implement that flow. So if you go to the opportunity, opportunity is another object. Opportunity is another object. Okay, just a clarity for everybody. Whatever box I am saying here, okay, the box which I am mentioning, it is called as a Lightning design card. We say Lightning design card, or some people say design card, or some people say card. Okay. Next one. In Excel sheet, you know tables, right? Everybody know table, right? Inside the table, you have a column. You have a rows. Perfect. And you have a data in cell, right? This everybody aware. So table is one table will be there. So in table, this is one table, and table will have a columns and then rows. Perfect. These are the rows. Now this is the table name is opportunity. I'm giving the table name is opportunity. And I have a header here, field names, name, person age, and address, phone number, right? And here it will be rows. Like I'll give some person name, Usha, and I'll give some age, 19, and then I'll give address, right? And next another row will be another person name, Srinu. Then I'll give the age, maybe 20, and address, phone number, and I'll give another person name here. So like this, I'll be filling the table, right? So here, whatever the table name is there, table name is nothing but, in Salesforce, table name is nothing but, table is nothing but object. Table is nothing but a object. So instead of this, I'll remove the table here. This is object. Object. Table is nothing but a object. That is one table. This is one table. This is one object. And then whatever the field names we have here, name, age, address, phone, right? These all are there, right? These are name, header names, right? We call them as a field in Salesforce. Field in Salesforce. Right now, remember this. This is a field in Salesforce. And rows, you see these rows? Usha, Srinu, these rows are there, right? So whatever these rows are there, we call it as a record. In Salesforce, we call it as a record. This is a record. And whatever the data is entered here, we say data. So column name, the header name is fields, and row is nothing but a record. Okay, so now I'll go to the opportunity object. That means I'm going to the opportunity table. I'll go to the opportunity object. Here, you can click on all opportunities. For now, click on all opportunities. We'll talk more in detail. And click on any record. This is one record. When I click on the record, you see here this flow. This is exactly what I have explained, the status, the cycle. If you wanted to know the status, here it is. Prospecting, qualification, need analysis, value proposition, ID, decision making, analysis, negotiation, closed won, anything, right? By default, Lightning is showing me this. In order to implement this, I need not to do any coding that we will discuss later. Okay, so this is, I can see here. But if I take same opportunity in Classic, let me switch to the Classic. Click on this avatar, switch to Salesforce Classic. And let me open the opportunity. And I'm opening the same one. Same record I'm opening. Am I able to see the status here? The path, what are the path which is available? Am I able to see here? I cannot. So Lightning experience has that beautification. In case if you wanted to change the stage in Classic, then you have to click on this stage and edit and change it and click on OK. What happened? And I'm saving it. Multiple clicks. I'm doing a multiple clicks. Edit, make change and click edit and then save, and then finally it will refresh and it will update. See how many clicks which are happening it. In real time, the clients does not want a more clicks. More clicks in a sense, multiple places to go and click on it. Here, if you click on this, make a current stage, done, it will be updated. Okay. So that is the beautification of Lightning experience. Now here, if you see, this is one card. This is one Lightning design card, or this is one Lightning box. This is one box. Okay, and we also have a, see here, so many are there. Each one of them are different cards. Each one of them different cards. This is another card. See, there is a gap between the first and second. See here, there is a back end. So there is a gap between each one of them. And this is the another one. So like this, we have a multiple, right? Multiple cards are there. One, how many are there here? 1, 2, this is the third one, and this is the fourth card. 4 boxes. I can see 4 boxes here. And we will be implementing exactly same how the Salesforce is doing by using the Lightning. Okay. With the example. So each one of them here, okay, here what I said, this is a card, okay. In Lightning, whenever we are implementing the development, okay, during the implementation of development, developers say this is a one component. Developers say this is one component and this is second component. And the next one is the third component. So that means they will be implementing this entire thing as a one component. One component. So each one of them, what we are doing right now in Lightning experience, let me go to there. What we are doing here, each card or each component, every component, I'm combining everything into one page. I'm mixing everything into one page. Because this is a different, this is a different, this is different, this is different. Everything a different component. But all together, I'm putting everything into single page. Each one of them has implemented a separate. This has implemented separately, this has implemented separately, and this one is implemented separately, and this is implemented separately. But in the Lightning experience, I can put all of them into one Lightning experience. But is it possible in the Visualforce? It's not possible. In Visualforce, I cannot combine all 4 and put it into the one, which is not possible. So here, these are separate components. So the entire story is that your classic is based on Visualforce framework. Your classic is based on Visualforce framework. Lightning is Lightning framework, Lightning experience is all depending on Lightning framework, Lightning framework, Salesforce Lightning and Salesforce LWC. So your Lightning development is based on the third party here. We are using the Aura here. Okay, if you are implementing the component using the Salesforce Lightning framework, that means you are using the Aura. It is also Lightning framework. So what is this Aura here? Aura is basically, it is a third-party technology. It's a third-party technology. It's not a Salesforce. Aura is third-party technology called Aura and is a universal accepted. So you can create using the third-party technology. We can create a screens, we can build and we can implement the logic in the Lightning experience. All the design screens, everything we can implement using the Aura. But Aura is not a Salesforce technology. It's not a Salesforce technology. Lightning, it's a lightning mix of technology. That means we will be using this, okay? We will be using this, but this is a third-party technology, and we will be, while developing it, we will be using the third-party tags, third-party program. And this has a all mix. It has a all mix of Salesforce technology, mix of Lightning, mix of Aura technology. Everything is everything is mixed. Lot of things are involved here. Right? It also involves a Lightning design system. There is something called Lightning design system. So basically it is mix of all the tools, lot of the tools, technologies clubbed together to form Salesforce Lightning development. Then you might be asking that, okay, if we are using the Lightning Aura, okay, I'll implement, though it is a third party, I know that, but I'll implement using the Lightning Aura. Why should I go for Lightning LWC? Then what is the LWC? Why should I use the LWC?
Basically advanced than Lightning.
Yes, advanced.
It's an open.
Easy to use and easy to build actually.
Easy to build, perfect. So Aura is, as we know that this is a third-party vendor technology, right? Aura is also open source. Aura is also open source. Nobody said that Aura is not an open source. But there is a problem here using the third-party technology. Tomorrow, if Aura stop supporting Salesforce, or tomorrow if Aura start charging it, right now it is a free. It is giving a free for Salesforce. Everybody can use a Aura. It is a free. Everybody can use and implement it. Today Aura is free, but you don't know. I don't know. Tomorrow Aura may stop supporting it. They will say, no, we will not be giving. We will not extend any of our components to you. So whatever you have implemented, I don't care about it. You cannot use our components anymore because we are going to charge. If Aura decides, it's like it is mostly like a marketing strategy, I can say. Marketing strategy. Like whenever a new technology comes, they will give it for free for some time. After that, they will charge it. Like for example, WhatsApp. WhatsApp
Geo.
is free. Geo. And also we have other things also free, right? So everybody, when we say free, everybody start using it because it's a free of it. WhatsApp is a free and everybody is enjoying using the WhatsApp. But maybe after people are completely get adjusted. That means they want that app. Without that app, they cannot go anywhere, like a WhatsApp. I need a WhatsApp, though my mobile balance is not there. I need a WhatsApp where I can chat it. It is mandatory in our day-to-day. When we feel that it is mandatory, or when Salesforce feels that, yes, I need Aura. Without Aura, I cannot implement Lightning. Though I have switched to the Lightning experience, but there is a lot of dependency on the Aura. Because right now every developer get adjusted. WhatsApp is like everybody adjusted. Everybody is using WhatsApp. There is no person who doesn't know WhatsApp. Even small kid also know the WhatsApp. But assume that tomorrow WhatsApp might start charging, saying that 1 rupee per month. 1 rupee per month. That's fine. 1 rupee per month. Nowadays, I'm not getting anything for 1 rupee. But if they are charging for 1 rupee per month, that's okay. Doesn't care. Doesn't make any sense. That's fine. But do you see here 1 rupee for 2 billion customers equal to $2 billion per month. So WhatsApp is going to get $2 billion per month, though they are charging 1 rupee per one person. 1 rupee for one person. Like that, 1 rupee for 2 billion customers are equal to, they are going to gain $2 billion per month. Company can earn. So these all are marketing strategy, like Facebook also free. Twitter is also free. Nobody knows when those apps are going to stop or when they say that it is going to charge. They might charge very less because everybody get adjusted. Suddenly, if they charge 100 rupees or 500,000, everybody start deleting that app. So they want everybody to use it, but they wanted to earn money. So that is the concept called marketing strategy. So same thing here also. Aura today, Aura is free. Aura is free for Salesforce. It said Salesforce, you can use Aura. We don't care. So, but tomorrow we don't know. Aura might say that I'll not give it for free for you because you are getting the customers very high. Salesforce is increasing day by day and your market strategy is very good. Now I do not want to support you. That time Salesforce will be in trouble because there is a lot of dependency on the Aura. So that's how Mark, the CEO of Salesforce, has thought much further. The thought process came into them, and there are some issues with the Aura also, like performance, everything. Lot of research they did it when the Aura came into the picture. Because everybody from the Salesforce company, they start doing the research and they have understood how much dependency after 4 years or 5 years, how much dependency will be there Aura. Might be possible that Aura can take over the Salesforce if there is a lot of dependency is there. So these all thoughts came into the picture, and then they have introduced the new concept called LWC, Salesforce Lightning Web Component. It is a Lightning component, no Aura framework, open source framework, complete Java, complete JavaScript, and DOM HTML. HTML technology. Have you seen HTML changing every time? No, right? HTML is since long, the same syntax will be there. Paragraph, break, same syntax, it never changes. That is a standard. So LWC is using DOM HTML, JavaScript. JavaScript also we don't see much on that. So these all HTML plus JavaScript is on LWC. And slowly what Salesforce is done is everybody, they are saying that move out from Aura to LWC. Okay, but there is a lot of marketing strategy behind that. But outside, for every developer, keep on saying that do it in the LWC. Do not focus on Aura. Because LWC is having the modern JavaScript and performance is better, easy to do it. So these all things are there, right? These all given. So by using the LWC, we can build sophisticated screens, the screens that I was showing you in the Lightning experience, like whatever the screens are there, everything we can build it. So we can build using the JavaScript as well as the HTML without Aura technology. I do not want to use Aura, right? So such development is called LWC, open source framework. No framework at all, no framework without any license, no charge. We can use directly LWC and build beautiful screens for the clients where client can attract and they can use the Lightning. So in this course, this entire thing you will be learning. It doesn't mean that I will show only the design part. No, I'll show the design part also at the back end, how the data is displayed here. Why it is displayed here? Why can't it display here? And why it is displaying only here? Why can't it display somewhere else? Everything is decided by developers. We decide it. Developer decide how to display that, where to display that, what is the font and which color it should come. Everything is decided by the developers by implementing the program using the LWC component. Now, what is the Lightning development here? To build a sophisticated user interface called Lightning. So let's go back here. So by the way, development is divided into two pieces: user interface development and logic development. User interface is further divided into three pieces: Salesforce Classic, Salesforce Lightning, Salesforce LWC. Right? Classic is nothing but Visualforce framework. Lightning is nothing but Aura framework. LWC is open source framework. These are like basic. These are to implement user interface. Okay, this is the user interface. But from the server side, the logic development, from the server side, if you want to implement a business logic, okay, business logic will be in Apex. Apex, oops, sockle, social, classes, trigger, getter, setter, controllers, batch Apex, everything. Your basic logic remains same. Your basic logic in the server side is same. When I say same, Visualforce, when we implement a Visualforce, the logic has to be implemented in Apex, right? 99% of logic will be in Apex. Whatever we are implementing a UI using the Visualforce, the backend logic has to be done in Apex. But however, Lightning, rather than using the Apex logic, 90% of the time, we will write all the logic in the client side controller. We will write a logic in client side controller. Okay, here is the thing. There are two things. One is the client side controller, other one is server side controller. Client side controller, server side controller. Client side controller and server side controller. If you are hearing these words for the first time, please note down. Okay, server side controller is nothing but the logic is implemented at the back end. Logic is, when I say logic, like A plus B or 10 plus 10, 10 plus 20 equal to 30. What are the logic we are writing? The logic has to be implemented at the back end. In Salesforce, we are writing the logic in Apex, right? Whatever the logic we write in the Apex, we call server side controller. I have implemented server side controller. The logic has written in server side controller. One of the interview question, where is your logic? Where you write most of your business logic? Do you write your business logic in server side controller or client side controller? So you have to say based on your understanding. Okay, if it is a say that 50% of logic, if it is a Visualforce is implemented. For example, if I have implemented a user interface using the Visualforce, then my all logic will be in server side controller. If we are implementing a Lightning, what happens? Most of the Lightning programs, what we will do is we will write a logic directly in client side, without going to the Apex. I'll implement my logic in client side controller. When I say client side controller, I'll be implementing a logic in Lightning Aura or Lightning LWC. Directly in the Lightning, I'll be implementing it. Salesforce Lightning or Salesforce Lightning Web Component. Okay, directly in the Lightning, we will be implementing the logic, that is the client-side controller. The Apex logic are always called as a server-side controller because they run on the server. Because whatever the logic we write here, it runs on the server. Right? It is runs on the server. Whenever a class or whatever the calculation or whatever the logic that we have written, it happens on the Salesforce server, Salesforce application server. Whereas all the things Lightning mostly works in client side. I can implement a logic directly in Lightning. It's not important that I have to call a Apex every time. Server, sorry. Here it is, I have written service.
Ma'am, why Visualforce from server side and why Lightning and Aura from client side?
In Visualforce, we do not have a flexibility to implement logic in client side. But whereas Lightning has flexibility, I can implement that logic Lightning. So because we have a JavaScript, modern JavaScript, we are using a lot of things we can do it using the JavaScript. In Visualforce, we cannot use those JavaScript, there is a limited. So server-side controllers is nothing but a logic which is written in the Apex. Client-side controller is nothing but a Lightning. So right now, most of our logic, we can implement it. There is a decision developer has to take it up. So if developer wants to connect Salesforce org and bring the data from the object, you have to decide it. It's all based on the requirement. If you have to pull the data from Salesforce database, then you have to use the Apex. If you have a normal UI, if you are implementing like calculation, you are implementing it. For calculation, if you are implementing or there is some logic based on the user input only, I wanted to make a changes. Like I have a enter first name, enter last name is there. Then I wanted to show full name here. So for example, on the form, there is a fields called enter first name and enter last name. Enter last name. And finally, I have to show full name. So what it is possible is directly I can capture here in the Lightning. What I'll do is I'll directly capture this value here. First name I'll capture and last name I'll capture. Then what I'll do, I'll combine both of them, concatenate it. Then both the information I can show here. The output will be shown. I need not to call the Apex here. I can directly do the logic here. Whereas Visualforce, you need to get the data. There will be a getter and setter. Whoever is not understanding, don't worry about it. There is a getter and setter. Using the getter and setter, that also you have to do it in the server side controller. Okay, that flexibility we do not have in Visualforce. That's the reason Salesforce has came up with a new thing, Salesforce Lightning, which is going to, we can do most of the things we can implement in client side server. So it's not every time, it is not important to call the Apex from the Aura or LWC. Perfect. Any questions before I move on? Last slide I will be taking.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So,
Hello.
Yeah.
Whenever using Aura, we have a like a LWC, maybe.
No, Aura is a different LWC.
No. My point is like Apex. Whenever we have to use like a SOQL and SOQL and SOSL. Then we have to use like LWC server side.
Apex, you mean to say?
Apex.
Yeah. So that's what I have said. Whenever you wanted to retrieve the client data, whenever you wanted to talk to Salesforce database.com, okay, whenever you wanted to get the information from the database by querying it, that time you need to use the Apex. If you do not have to talk to the database.com,
Okay.
okay, in that case, we can always do that. So further going, we'll have a different scenarios. We will be implementing a different scenarios in the Aura, where you can see the differences when to go for a server-side controller or when to implement same thing in the client side. We will do that.
Yeah. It's a basically application like a calculation method. We have to go for like Aura components or both LWC also it's working, maybe basic calculation.
Yes, LWC also it works.
When I use like a logical development, like it's like Apex, we use like a Visual Force only.
No, don't say that only Visual Force. Okay, that's the reason here you see the dots that I have given. Based on your requirement, you might have to call the Apex.
Okay.
Visual Force, it is mandatory that you have to call. There is no other option. For Lightning Aura, LWC, you might need to call, you might not, based on your requirement.
Okay.
Swapna, I have one question.
Yeah, Abhishek.
So I understood it's all depends on business requirement. But as a developer, so I'm giving my example. So I have a background of Microsoft development. Okay. And I was very strong in C# and SQL Server. So whenever I got any work, I used to do this in at server side, C# and SQL Server. And I was not very strong in JavaScript or server side development. Okay. So this is the case of here also. If somebody is strong in Apex, they can do all the operation, perform development in Apex, and somebody is strong in client side technology, they can also perform at client side, or maybe balance between both the side.
Perfect. Yes. If you are very good in Apex, if you are able to do the same thing in that, go ahead in the Apex. But if you are really good in the JavaScript, do it in the JavaScript. But further, right now, it's good and we can do it. But going further, Salesforce might release something new things in the JavaScript. Okay. And by the way, Salesforce is giving some options in LWC itself. You can call the objects, you can call the fields data, and you can retrieve the fields data without SOQL query. So Salesforce is giving that option.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
Okay. Can I move on?
Yes, sure.
Continue.
Okay, thank you. So let's take it up. UI development history. This is the last slide. So UI development history. So UI development history is basically, as I have explained yesterday, whoever is joined today, maybe it is new for you. In 2007, okay, in 2007, we used to have something called S controllers. So before Visual Force, we used to design everything in S controller. Even UI, everything will be there. S controllers. Okay.
Including business logic.
I'm not sure, but we used to do. That's what I heard it. So S controller is where we used to do everything in the S controller. Right now we are talking about the user interface. So let's focus on the user interface rather than focusing on the logic. So user interface, definitely we used to implement using the S controllers in 2007. This is before the Visual Force. Now in 2010, we got the Visual Force. In 2010, it is introduced Visual Force, and everybody started implementing the Visual Force, and that time everybody is moving the changes, components, migrating everything from the S controller to Visual Force. Now we do not hear S controller no more. We don't know, somebody doesn't know S controllers also. So now we know only the Visual Force. Everybody think that Salesforce has started with the Visual Force. So in 2010, when the Visual Force came into the picture, everyone is started migrating from the S controller to Visual Force. Now in 2015, we got a Lightning framework. When it is released in 2015, that time developers were having the very hard time. Most of the developers were very hard time, that was because Lightning Aura was bit difficult. You see here, sudden change from Classic to Lightning, and then Aura. This technology was very difficult in 2015 when it launched. And people were struggling to implement the components, the requirement in the Lightning framework, going through the documents and understanding how it is working, everything. By the time they used to Lightning Aura, then immediately 2018 and Lightning Web Components is released. 2000 ending onward or 2019 starting of the year. 2018 ending, or we can say 2019 year, starting of the 2019, the LWC came into the picture. So whoever is working in the 2015, whoever was working in the Aura, they have seen the one which came in 2018 ending or 2019 LWC. Then everybody started understanding the LWC. Okay, so that time they have came to know the JavaScript, HTML, everything they have understood. And they started taking it LWC more easily rather than Aura framework. Because Aura, if you compare the Aura framework bundle and LWC bundle, there is a lot of difference there. Okay, so we will see what are the differences. We will see going further, but this is the history. So this is
so in future, like there's going to come any newer UI.
In new UI,
Yes.
UI, I don't think so. Because this is an open source and which has a modern JavaScript. I cannot say. I cannot say from the Salesforce perspective, but right now I think that this is the last Lightning Web Component. See, using the Lightning Web Component, you know the React UI. Anybody is aware of React UI? Whatever we are implementing using the React UI, we can implement similarly using the Lightning Web Component. Exact design, whatever you are doing in the React UI. That's the latest. React is the one. So this is how the framework has started. Right now, most of the companies are asking LWC. Current market is LWC. Should have to learn LWC. Okay. Now, I have not said the definition. What is the Salesforce Lightning? So whoever is noting down, please note down what is Salesforce Lightning. So the definition of Salesforce Lightning is, as we have discussed till now, Lightning is the collection of tools. Collection of tools. It has a different tools. It has a Lightning design system. It has HTML. It has a JavaScript. It is a collection of tools and technologies. We are using the JavaScript and the technologies to provide significant upgrades to the Salesforce pattern. Salesforce platform for better user experience. Also efficiency and reusability. There is another one, we can reuse it. Reusability of resources. Right? Lightning is a collection of tools and technologies. We have a different technologies. We have a different tools that we are using in the Lightning to provide a significant upgrades to the Salesforce platform. For what? For better user experience. Right? We can reuse the same resources multiple places. Okay, that's all for today. Interview questions will be sent. I think we are over the time. Let me stop.